Welcome back to our Widen the Screen video series. I am sitting here with InSeub, who is our pianist here at Grace Avenue. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. InSeub, would you mind sharing a little bit with us about yourself?
Okay, my name is InSeub Jung. I was born and raised in Seoul, South Korea. And then now I'm here in McKinney, Texas. I'm a pianist at Grace Avenue UMC and Dallas College.
Okay, Dallas College.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so, if I understand correctly, you were a student at UNT.
Yes.
Okay, so what brought you to University of North Texas?
I mean, to study the piano performance.
Was there a particular instructor, or the program was just that good?
I mean, just classical music, and then to be a professor in the future. That was my dream, but I don't know sure.
To be a professor is your dream.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good for everyone to know. So you came here, you're from Seoul, South Korea, came here to attend UNT. Now you're a pianist at Grace Avenue. You also do some stuff at Dallas College.
Yeah.
What was that journey like? What was it like getting here from South Korea?
I mean, I was planning to study abroad in Europe, not America first time. And then I met my previous professor who was studied in US, and then he pushed me to go to the US. And then I went to some kind of company to connect me to the university. And actually, I just paid, and then they do their job. And then they said, okay, you are accepted for the language school, not the university for the first time. And so that's how I came here. And then after I finished my English, and then I entered the UNT later. Normally, they took audition first, and then they came here and study because they need to be, I mean, for sure, they are going to study here for several years, but I was not sure. I'm going to finish my English first. So that's why I came here first and study English first, and then I took audition, and then I entered the UNT.
So you paid a company
Yes.
that has experience helping people come to the US to study.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you learn about that company?
I mean, they chose several kind of different famous music schools since I'm a musician, and then I kind of searched about those schools, and I decided where I want to go, and then check all those kind of general things. So what kind of paperwork, what is the guideline to enter the university? I mean, the English, and how good I need to perform my major, all those base things, and then the GPA things, yeah.
So what were you doing before you paid somebody to help you come to the US? How'd that work? Like, what were you doing at home in Seoul? Were you still always involved in music there?
Yeah, I mean, I was a student. I was about to graduate my bachelor degree over there.
Okay. So you already had one bachelor's?
Yes, over there, and then I came here to get the master and doctoral degree.
Okay, that's helpful. I didn't know that. So that's good for me to know and everyone else to know. So how do you think that process would have been different if you didn't have a company that had experience with this sort of process?
Wow. It's going to be a lot of work. I mean, I have to apply first to the school, and then I need to ask how many different paperwork I need to do. Probably it's around like 10 something. I have to spend like more than 1 month, I think, if I do by myself. But if I pay the company, and then they are going to do in a week, that's why I use the company. I mean, there are so many things to come to the US. It's not just paying the money. I mean, even if I pay the money to the company, but I have to prepare all the paperwork by myself. I just want sure what the correct paperwork I need to prepare.
So for somebody that didn't have, I guess, an experienced professional working with them to come here, how much more difficult do you think that would be?
It's almost impossible, I think. I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, I will have to study and I have to practice my major, and also I need to prepare all those paperwork. It may gonna take more than 2 months, 2 or 3 months, and it's a lot of time.
You're from South Korea.
Yeah.
Are there people at home who want to come to the U.S. but may not have the help to get here?
The reason why we are using that kind of company, if you don't use that kind of company, it's like almost only like 20% to get a visa to come to the US. Even if we pay to the company, it's not 100% sure we can come to the US.
So is that 20% from South Korea?
Yeah, if we prepare ourselves. But if we pay and if we ask to get the US to the some kind of specific company, even if we pay for them, it's not 100%. It's like a 70%. It just raised the percentage, but it's not 100%. I mean, here was the situation. I mean, I have a friend. We graduated same university. Our GPA was almost similar, and then we are majoring same. I'm piano performance, and then I'm male. He didn't get the visa at all. He didn't get the visa. I got the visa, student visa. There was no reason. I mean, just the U.S. embassy. I mean, one of the U.S. embassies just say, okay, you cannot go, and then he cannot go. You pass, and then I can go.
So you're saying somebody with probably the similar profile to you,
Yeah.
similar skill set, similar educational background,
Yes.
did not have the same opportunity, did not get the yes.
I mean, I don't know. Is there anything more he's hiding or something? I don't know. But he says he didn't get the visa without any reason.
InSeub, do you think it's easy to immigrate to the United States? Do you think the process is easy?
Not studying, immigrate. It's different story. I mean, studying, yeah, it's easier than immigrating to US. Immigrating is really hard.
So if you weren't a student, the percentage was already low. The chance of success was already low.
Yes.
And what you're saying is if you weren't a student, it would be even lower.
I mean, yeah, it's less than 10%, I think. That's what my lawyer said. I mean, we were preparing to get a green card, and then we spent 2.5 years. It was fastest case. That's what our lawyer said. But we were lucky. We know that. Normally, it's less than. It's not even 10% that the lawyer says. He cannot even guess how much percentage are going to be.
So I think some of the pushback we hear about people that come to the U.S. is that they may not contribute by working jobs. And I think what I heard you say here is essentially that even if you have a job lined up, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to have like legal status to be here.
Here was the problem to us. We got a job, but it was part-time job, and there were several chances we can get the full-time, but we didn't get that job because we are not American citizen or we didn't have any green card. Of course, they can support those things, but it took a lot of time. That's why they are not hiring us. I mean, not they. That's why they want to hire the American than any other citizens, because it's easier and it takes less time for them.
So it's beneficial to basically companies or universities, whoever else have you, to hire domestically.
Yeah, if you see the kind of advertisement, I mean, if you can see The first requirement sometimes is having a green card. That's the first one. If you don't have a green card, you cannot be hired by, especially school and other companies, major companies. I'm pretty sure that's the major thing. If they want to hire the foreigners, they have to pay to the lawyer to get a green card, and also they have to make sure they are going to hire them for at least like 2 years, 3 years, or sometimes 5 years. I'm not sure how many years they need to hire, but there are specific times they have to have them.
Is it possible to get a green card before you come here?
I have never thought that. Yeah, there are several ways they can get the green card. I mean, if they are going to open the business in America, I heard it's like $500,000. That's the minimum they have to spend here. And then they have to be approved by the government, and then they have to show that amount of the money they have in the bank account. That, I think that's the minimum.
So what I heard you say just now is essentially a person has to be able to contribute economically to the U.S. before they can come here legally.
Yeah.
So they have to have their own money. They can't come here and then make money.
So that they can hire the American. That's the purpose,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. So it's not as easy to hire people who have come here illegally as people might think.
I have never thought that, but it's not going to be that much hard. I mean, it's going to be that much hard.
Okay. Yeah. And then if somebody's already working here, I guess it would be super difficult for them to get legal status, right? If you're already here, then you kind of already broke the law, and then it's kind of hard to go backwards, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, working without green card, it's impossible. It's just impossible. I mean, you're American, so you don't know that. I mean, even if I have student visa, I mean, I got a student visa to come to the US, and then I'm a student at UNT still, but I was a student at UNT. I have to study only if I work, it's illegal. So the government is going to take me out of the US.
But how are you supposed to live as a student if you can't work?
Nothing, there's nothing.
So you had to have your own savings before you came here.
Yeah, parents support, or I can work inside the school.
Okay.
Cafeteria or something, not outside the school. But there's special case, that was me. I mean, if like a pianist, if there are not many Americans are doing those things, I mean, pianists and other special things, they are allowed to work outside of the school, but it's just, I think it's less than 10 hours. It cannot be more than 10 hours. And I have to be approved by the school before I work the first day.
Thank you for sharing that. InSeub, I want to thank you for something too. It's the first time anyone ever called me American.
Oh, yeah.
First time anybody ever called me American without trying to classify what type of U.S. citizen I might be. So thanks for that.
When I decided to stay in U.S., it was a really difficult decision because, living far away from the family, it's not easy. We had to think about two things. The first thing, opportunities. That's why all the people want to come to the U.S. It's the country of opportunities. And it's a lot of opportunities as a musicians, especially here in Dallas, Texas. We can make the music with a middle schooler, high schooler, and also college student, and even with professional musicians. Okay, that's easy. Second thing, as friends, we cannot live alone. I mean, we did more seriously about our friends in America here with my wife. And then we just named our friends here, like Lori, Bill, Shep, Mike, Janice, Billy, Lola, Kim, and other people's name, and so on. At the end, we just say, okay, we're gonna stay here because we have many friends here. That's the reason why we are here. I mean, even if it's hard to live, two of us here, but we have a lot of family here.